guess we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, first thing, just a quick check, how everybody's doing in terms of potential sales or deals. Anybody working on anything that they want to share with the group? Nobody?
I have not been putting stuff together, but I was thinking about it because it almost seems irresistible, and I have all this stuff here anyway. But now, one thing that I went to a conference. It was I was just introduced to Ollie Bilson on the weekend. He's a Facebook / Infusionsoft funnel maker.
Okay.
And so he was doing like the GKIC advertising for 3 years, and now he's doing his own thing. But anyway,
Okay.
for $97, there was a conference in Toronto. So
Nice.
Yeah, Gary Morgan, actually, is he on here? He sent me a link to a Facebook ad that showed me about lead ads that then I was targeted by his company, and then I went to the conference, and it was really good. But anyway, I showed my business card around.
Okay.
While I was there. Now, one of the things, I don't have the app, so maybe it's easier with the app. Now, when I was there, though, I
keep the chicken in for.
Hang on.
Anyway, I totally lost what I was saying. I didn't interrupt the chicken.
Sorry.
No, it was about the app.
Oh yeah. So the app, I'm wondering if it might make it easier. But when I'm sending it to them, then okay, so I've got it accessible on my phone. I've got it ready to give, but then they don't know what to do with it when they get it. That's what I'm finding.
Okay, so
I've told them how to show them how to save it to their screen. But there's a lot of people that are just really, well, I had some of them open it up right there and at least connect with me sometimes. And one of them actually noticed the name of my business card, like, whoa, what is that? So like, I guess they do see the domain.
Mm-hmm.
But is there something easier with the app?
Well,
because they were also asking me about e-cards.
Yeah, I don't know. Any of you guys running the Android app?
Yeah, I have it.
You have it? So has Chad built any functionality in the app in terms of for transmitting the card?
Well, yeah, let me just go through it.
Yes.
I hit on the icon, and then what happens is right at the bottom, you guys can't probably see that.
Yeah.
It says send card.
Okay.
So if I click on...
And what form is it in when the person gets it?
It sends them an SMS message with the link to the card that you had set up previously.
Do me a favor. Send me your card.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but you have to give him your name and phone number. It's an SMS or text message to you, and in there is a link. You press it.
Yeah.
I get it. I got it.
Yeah.
Hang on a second here.
Now, that's what I basically did anyway. I sent it via text.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got Derek in there. You would have your last name too. I need a phone number, Derek.
That's it.
Okay. Now let me get out of here. Send digital card. And then the button says send digital card. And I just got the one. Yeah, it was great connecting with you. There we go. I'm going to send it. Okay, I just sent it.
Okay. And it just came in on my computer and it came in on my phone. So let's take a look and see what it actually sends out. Okay, so what it actually sends out is exactly as described, a text message with a link to the card.
You should be able to click on that link, right?
Yeah, well.
Okay, good. I can click on mine, on my end.
No, and it won't even let me.
Really?
That's interesting, yeah.
That is interesting.
And it won't even let me, let's see, if I copy, I actually get, I think, all the text and not just
Because if you look at mine, it's all, it's all linked up. You can.
Well, it depends on how it's formatted when it comes across. So let me see.
Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
It is a problem. No, okay. Well, that actually worked. Okay, so if oh no, it didn't work. Shit. Excuse my French. Yeah, because the copy just takes all the text and not just the URL. Yeah.
Well,
so
I was able to send my card.
Okay.
It's just a matter of what they do on the other side when they get it. Trying to have some consistent way.
Yeah, I think that's something we need to address. I mean, this is a really important point because ideally, what we should be able to do, and I'll talk to Chad about this. What we should be able to do is house the, for example, if it's somebody sending to me that has an app, it should house it in my app. I think. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, it's got to send it in a format that the person can readily move it into their contact list or into something that's a usable thing, because otherwise it's useless. I hate to say it, but
well, couldn't you put instructions into the card template? There are 4 card templates, A, B, C, and D. I believe there's 4, A, B, C. And it's going to send one of those 3 templates as the SMS message.
Oh, that's through the app though, right, Bob?
That's
Because
through
I didn't use the app. I sent it text.
Yeah, and you should have been able to click right on the link to my card too.
Yeah, let me see it on the computer. Let's see how it came up on the computer. On the computer, let's see if I can.
Because the message that ended up sending on my end, if I was to click on it, it opens up into my biz card. So you think it would. It's not good if it does something in the transition.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can sort this out there.
I mean, I haven't sent out a lot of business cards via the app, but the ones I have sent out, it was fine. I mean, they clicked on the link and up popped my business card.
Well, I mean, you can see this is not
right. I see it's not. Yeah,
no link.
There's no link there. And there's no way, unfortunately, the way this works, there's no way for me to even cut and paste.
Is that an Apple or is that an Android?
This is an iOS, yeah.
It's an iOS, okay. So that's probably protecting you, and it's part of iOS.
I'm sure it is. It's part of their security protocol, but that's not good because think of how many people have iOS devices. So
that's why I guess we don't even talk about this thing until it's done.
Well, so we need to figure out a solution for that. I mean, this is a big deal. Yeah. We need to come up with a solution. So the only thing I can suggest is a conversation with Chad and Enroop and see if we can come up with a solution for this. Because right off the top of my head, I can't think of if there's anything else I can do with this. Let me think about this for a second. If I click on it and go to more, oh, you know what else I can do? Actually, you know what? Maybe I can do this. No, that just goes to a new message.
Now, it wouldn't be a difference between the country code or anything, would it?
No. Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, this was kind of interesting. I opened up my biz card, and I clicked on the 3 dots, on the top.
Yeah.
Those 3 dots up there.
Yeah.
And I said that I would share it, and it comes up for messages. So I thought I could, send a text. There's no link in it.
Well, that's not good either.
It's like that.
Right.
But the other way, when I sent it from the card, there was a link in it. My biz card was had a hyperlink, or what do you want to call it? Interesting.
Well, see, what really needs to happen here is it needs to come in a format so that when you open it, it opens it up in, like if like if it's on an iOS device, it would go into the Apple contact list. If it's on an Android device, going into whatever the native contact list is on Android, I would guess would be Google Mail or Gmail.
It could be.
Okay, well, I mean,
I don't have an
that's
answer
a
for that.
conversation. We're not going to solve it here. That's a
Yeah.
conversation we need to have with. I'll make a point of having a conversation with Chad and Anurup about this, because this could be this is a problem. It's got to be solved.
I'm going to text my wife and see if it works on her phone, just in case if it does something.
Okay.
Okay, I did change it to a hyperlink on my end once I hit the button. So let me go. I'll go check. I'll come back and report to you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything else I can do with this. Let's see. Oh, no, that's interesting. What the hell just happened here? Now, all of a sudden, there's a hyperlink. Because what I did is I actually opened it to send it. There's a function on here where you can actually open it, and then it gives you a choice for more, and you select more, and then what it actually did is it then put it into a format to send to somebody else, and that converted it to a hyperlink. So now I've got a live hyperlink. So still kind of kludgy, but at least that's a temporary workaround. And then if I open that, I get his card. So, well, I got his card. I don't know what the hell happened there, but
yeah, we saw it there. You touched it and it
so
opened
anyway,
up the other.
okay. So I think that's something that definitely needs to be looked at. I mean, we've got to look at either a better way to communicate to the recipients what to expect and how to deal with it when they receive it, or come up with a better solution. And talking with Anurup and Chad, maybe maybe there is a better solution. I don't know. So while we're on that track, I had a conversation with Chad. As a matter of fact, he kind of surprised me because he actually called me over the weekend. And he wanted to go, and I don't know how often you guys get called by Chad, but I never get called by Chad, and I got called by Chad. So I thought, oh my gosh, am I being called on the carpet here, or did I do something wrong? Did he listen to my videos? What's wrong here? But no, instead he just wanted to go over the Trello cards, and basically go over, kind of rehash the fact that he's really targeting being at a point by the beginning of January to be able to transition so that he's focused back on marketing and just doing marketing. And he's trying to get the platform done and stabilized with the key set of functionality that it's got now and on the Trello cards, and so that he can then put somebody in place, a development manager in place, to kind of manage the development from that point forward, and slow the process down. In other words, he'll still obviously be involved, but he would slow the process down. There won't be as frequent updates. There won't be as frequent enhancements, which is actually a good thing, because it gives the platform time to stabilize, gives everybody a chance to really get to know it without constant changes, gives you a chance to be able to work with your customers without the back end always being changed out from underneath you, and so on. So it's critical that we make sure that the key functionality that everybody wants is being covered. So I'm going to jump into the Trello cards for a minute. And that's not the right ones. So let me get to the right ones. And so this is the stuff that's currently in process. So right now, and it's basically top down. So right now they're working on getting the default pipeline completely integrated and built in. So, he's had several conversations about that. The next thing right behind that is the lead ad integration, Facebook lead ad integration.
Can you share your screen, Derek?
Oh, you guys are staying that silent while I'm doing this. That's too funny. All right. I'm glad somebody spoke up. There we go. Can you see my screen now? Everybody see my screen?
Yeah, we got it now. Yeah.
All right, beautiful. So a default pipeline, Facebook lead ad integration. This here, this is a big one. This is the campaign functionality that they're working on. So basically, this is also getting these key action icons integrated throughout the system, so that they're consistent and built throughout the system. Let's see. In terms of the campaign, having a key point where they can, this is that menu again. So the idea is to be able to have a central point to basically set up all your notifications, set up your autoresponder, basically get stuff dropped into the pipeline, be able to fire off a tag on submission, assigned to users, and all, built into the campaign. Then, let's see, that's the master menu. Let's see, what is it? So the mobile card funnel was next behind that. Of course, they're just waiting on the iOS. It's been submitted. They're just waiting for approval and release. The page builder is actually already built. He actually had a separate team build this, and so it's just a matter of integrating it into the system. But it's actually already done. And the next thing behind that was the social card affiliate program. Let's see what this is. Don't remember what this was. Company Absolute. So it looks like it's I'm going to mark this appointment as 1. We're going to mark the below pipeline as 1 for this opportunity. You can choose a different pipeline. So it looks like some type of notification he's got built in there. Let's see what else he's got here. Yeah, it just looks like some kind of notification on the appointments in terms of when something's won or not won.
Derek, is there anything in the works that you could either clone a page or clone a campaign within the system?
Clone a page, not that I am aware of. Clone a campaign, possibly. I don't remember seeing that under the campaign stuff, but let me look at the menu real quick here. So under the menu, basically what he's got is, let's see, copy page redirect, assign to, Facebook share options, retargeting codes, and delete campaign. It doesn't look like, I'm not sure what the copy page functionality means at this level. I don't think that that's cloning the campaign. I don't know for sure. I don't know.
You can clone surveys.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's several place things you can clone, but there's nothing
Yeah.
indicating here that there's any. This is the menu that he's got on campaigns, and there's nothing on here that says clone. So I don't know that that's necessarily a part of this, and nor is it mentioned anywhere.
That would be really a nice feature, I think. I don't know if other people see a use for it.
What I would strongly urge is that anything that you want to see, get it in the support system. Okay, that's the best way to make sure to make sure that it gets in there. Because right now, basically what's being built is everything that's in this line right here. So you've got, quick run through, you've got the campaign, master campaigns, you've got the mobile card funnel, page builder, social card affiliate program, a pop-up warning for appointments, wait screens. Here we go. This will solve that problem, guys. V card. He does have it in the pipeline. So when it gets delivered, if it gets delivered as a V card, that will help solve the business card delivery issue. Need to set up general user for all language settings, employees, message templates, tags and stages. Let's see what this add to my calendar. Okay, so they're going to add a functionality when the confirmation email goes out to add to my calendar. So that's in the pipeline. Free trial upgrading on subscription. Delete, let's see what this one is. This is the dots, need dots would wipe out contact completely on all campaigns with confirmation. So he's adding in the ability to delete in a number of areas, which is desperately needed. Ability to delete responses, adding a form for the lead stats, translation for notifications and emails. Need an indicator card. So there's an indicator card that's being set up for that. Link detail. So it looks like they're going to be adding some additional link detail. Let's see, contact detail. Yeah, I'm going to open that. If lead exists on import, let's see what this is. This one is. This is a validation check. So if you go to import leads, if it already exists, so it's just basically a check. So when you're importing leads, you don't double up on your leads. And that's pretty much it. There are some bugs that are being addressed. These are all the bugs right now that are being addressed. Go to meeting integration not working, kill extra domain options, duplicates in lead bank and app. Campaigns not showing up on employee end. Apparently there's some mailgun issue. Error message when downloading the CSV file from within the user dashboard. Business card display error on the Samsung Galaxy S9. Basic domain not registering. I'm not sure what that's. So this looks like a one-off. Doesn't look like it's a general error. Hot leads button not working in app. Widget settings on phone display. Super user employees and their action abilities. Let's see what this is about. So this one. Let's see what that is.
That's a video.
It's a video. I'm not going to run the video right now. You guys can watch that later. Let's see what else we got in here. So something to do with enterprise employees, some internal SMTP not working. Can't duplicate it, but they've added a video. Quick appointments made from app not connecting or syncing with Google Calendar. One thing on the Google Calendar, guys, make sure you're regularly disconnecting and reconnecting to the Google Calendar. It's really important that you do that on a regular basis. Notification emails are being sent from Steve Rosenbaum when using default SMTP. That's interesting. Enterprise accounts created by agency members are not showing pro features. Welcome emails not being sent when signing up for free business card. And last but not least, can't remove contacts to trash and edit notes in pipeline. We already know that. Customers are using 2 different URLs to log into LCS. I'm not sure what that's about, but that's the list of bugs. So these are the 2 columns. These are the 2 things, sets of things, I should say, that are being done. Okay. So if there's some functionality that you want outside of that, you need to get it in the system quick. I can't promise you're going to get it, but if you want to have any hope of getting it, one other thing I did talk to him about, and I do still think, although he kind of, it's not here yet, and he kind of walked around about it because he recognized the serious need for it, but I still don't see it here, and that is adding other pricing options. We've talked about that before. I mean, he's added the ability to obviously to add things to the pipeline, but right now there's no ability to add it to the pricing options, and I think that's a really critical thing, and I've reinforced it with him several times, but it's still not on the board, so just be aware of that. Okay, and the rest of this that you see to the right are all basically drill-ins, if you will, to each of these issues. Notice how to get it done. So that's what all this stuff is about. Again, if it's something you want that I didn't cover, make sure you get it in. Or if you have any questions about what I did cover, feel free to let me know. And let me pull up the chat and see if there's anything I see. iOS doesn't work. Yeah, iOS is actually already in. They're waiting for it to be approved by Apple. So it's done. It's just waiting for approval from Apple. Okay. So that's that. So unless you guys have any questions, I'm gonna break from this. Okay. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit about getting set up as a company, because I've done this so many times I don't really even think about it too much, but in fact, I'll show you what I was working on this weekend just briefly, and only for the purpose of to give you an idea of where I was at, and let me grab it real quick, and then we'll talk about what I was just bringing up. So let me grab this document real quick. Hold on one sec. Let's see where I put it. I know where to put it. It is right there. And over here. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so this, you guys know I'm working on that insurance deal. It's a lot of money. In fact, I talked quite a bit with Chad about it, because it is definitely going to engage Chad and his group, because it's basically 50. My budget on the technology side is 50 million to start with. The total budget for the initial launch of the company is 250 million. So I've got 50 million to spin up a center, and so this document basically is a draft basically the technology stack that's involved in kind of building this thing out. So if you think about it, what this involves, cancel that, is think of it like building a data center, but in a corporate office. So in other words, it's going to be a I don't want to call it a call center because it's not a call center, but there's call center technology that's going to be at the hub of it, and you know, in the heart of it. But it's not like setting up an office like you guys have to set up, or like I have set up. I mean, for example, when I set up, and I don't need this anymore. When I set up this this business here, what do I need? I need a phone, right? I need a computer. I've got a laptop. I happen to have a desktop in the other room. I don't even need a network, because pretty much everything that I'm running from is cloud-based anymore. Is anybody besides maybe Bob running off of a network? I don't think so, right? So pretty much everybody that's looking to do this kind of job, basically, what do you need? You need a laptop. You need a phone.
An internet connection.
You need an internet connection, and a good one, preferably. What about video? So you need to either have, depending on what you do. So I want to take a quick survey here. How many of you guys, when you need to have a video for your website or a video for some promotional thing or whatever, how many of you guys make it yourself versus outsource it?
Make it myself.
Myself.
Okay. So everybody here is making it themselves. Anybody outsourcing it?
Sometimes I'll go to Fiverr for, it depends on what it is. If it's a little intro or something, you know, something fancy that I can't do.
Okay. All right. So when you go to make it yourself, I'll look at my stack. I use, well, I have a pretty intense video stack in terms of stuff that I use. I've got Camtasia is my regular go-to product. I mean, that's what I use. Like when I do these videos and flip them out, that's all done on Camtasia 2018. I do use a freeware product called Handbrake, which is a really great product for converting and changing different formats, and also for compressing. So ever since Bob admonished my video sizes, you've noticed they're down usually now about 150, 170 megabytes in size.
That was just a heads up to you. That was all.
Yeah, I know. I'm teasing you.
Yeah.
But you were right. As opposed to several gigs. So I use that. Then depending on what the project is, I've got a variety of other tools that I go to. But I develop all my own videos as well. So most of you are developing your own videos. So that means you've got to have, so who's using what? Lois, what do you use?
I've got a whole variety of tools too. I've got Video Remix if I want to do like personalized videos. I have a couple different tools that do like more explainer style videos. I have Camtasia that I haven't used much yet, but I still need to like get up on the learning curve on that. And I have quite a few different like video kind of posting type tools to get it out and syndicate it and everything. So that's been one of the areas where I've kind of invested in, stocked up on.
Okay, you've done the same thing I have, because that's what I've done. Yeah. Okay. Who else? Who else is doing their own video, and what are you using?
All right, this is Bob. I use Camtasia almost exclusively. Sometimes I use Jing to make a short little video and bring it in Camtasia in most cases. So let's just let you guys know what I do.
Okay. All right. Who else?
I'm the
Mic
same as
check 1 2. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Acapella. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Hey. Well, I use Wondershare for the conversion. The old version, they pretty much can do MP3, MP4, everything from video to music to all the above. Wondershare.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wondershare as well.
Yeah, they're pretty. It's pretty nice and very simple. You take it from, you know, any dimension to whatever compressed, and it's still the same value. You know.
Very
But
nice.
in a smaller bit rate. So
Sure.
I also use ScreenFlow, screen capturing, and quick edit, very quick, because now I'm trying to make everything automated. So I only have limited.
Acapella, are you on an Apple?
Yes.
Yeah, thought so. Okay. So am I. So am I. It's a great platform. You know, for especially for doing video and stuff.
I'm Apple based everything. So
Okay.
I use it. I use Ecamm Live to go live straight from my laptop desktop to Facebook, and while watching all the comments while doing whatever I want to do in the background. Really like that. Really, really like that. And I also use Switcher Studio. If I want a 4-angle camera, I just put up my iPad with maybe an iPod, and maybe another cell phone, and it captures angles as if like I got 5 people recording for me, you know?
Nice. Very nice.
I usually, you know, and I've done a lot of research in order getting those things. And I believe some of them, I know Ecamm Live is only iOS. Wondershare now comes in both, on both sides, Android and, you know, the other side as well as PC and Mac.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe that's of some value. But I got a lot of tricks up my sleeves that I've been pretty much implementing lately, as far as time.
That's excellent.
And on the short sleeves.
Say it again. What did you say? I didn't hear you. I'm sure it's depending on what day it is. You guys wish me a happy birthday tomorrow, same as Michael Jackson, and Saturday is the real turn up, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Happy birthday, Acapella. That's awesome.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Definitely, man. It's good seeing you guys. I love what you guys are doing, and I just wanted to pop in and just say keep up the good work, man, because I believe it's going to be very, very helpful. The guys are just catching on to it, looks like.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. Glad you could join us.
All righty.
All right. So we got what he's doing. Anybody else? Anybody doing anything different?
Now I'm using Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro,
Camtasia.
okay.
Yeah, Camtasia. And strangely, I've done my intros and outros through PowerPoint.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, PowerPoint's an interesting platform. I've used it actually more recently than not. It's got some interesting capabilities. Okay. Anybody else?
I use Hans. I use Camtasia.
Okay.
I have Easy Video Suite that I use sometimes. Camtasia is just as easy to use as Easy Video Suite.
Right.
I have this new app. I don't know what the heck it's called. It was in the group for recording off your screen on a phone. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't even know what it's called. It's a screen recorder. I loaded it. It's working, so it's kind of cool.
There you go.
And for audio, if I just want audio and I want to match it up, I use Audacity.
Yeah, Audacity is good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it for that.
Okay. All right. What about cameras, guys? Do you guys use just your built-in webcams, or are you guys using anything else?
I use my built-in webcam. I use a camcorder that I picked up for just a little over $100, and I use my Android phone.
Because I actually use my built-in webcam, but then I also use a tripod. With
I got that
little,
too.
Yeah, with one of these little jobs, it works really nice. Okay, anybody doing green screen?
Yes, I'm doing green screen.
Okay.
I've done it in the past, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
I do a little bit of all the above.
All the above.
All the above.
Okay.
It's whatever I need that moment. You know, it's just
Yeah,
whatever.
now see, everybody that's talked so far, I consider you guys semi-seasoned online marketers. And the reason I say that is because, you know, most of you have been involved with this for over a year. Anybody that's not, that has spoken up, not been involved for at least a year or more. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, what about the new person coming in? Anybody on the call that has been in this for less than a year?
Yeah, I think so. Probably less than a year for me.
For you? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. And
Pretty close for me too.
okay. So for you guys, how did you come up with what you should be using? How did you figure out what you should be using?
Years of research.
So you spent years of research before you even got into this?
But I'm saying it's through research over the years that you figure out what's good and what's not.
Okay. Okay. Graham, same for you?
What do you mean? Do you mean online marketing as a whole?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, in terms of, no, when you to get your office set up, how did you know what you needed to use? What did you need to invest in? What did you need to spend your money on?
Oh, trial and error, really.
Trial and error?
Trying different things out, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else doing trial and error?
Yep. After pain and suffering.
Yeah.
After a lot of pain and suffering.
Yeah. Yeah.
You start realizing what you need.
So who's going to design the course for this? Somebody knows all the different tricks.
Well, I mean, Bob's been teaching this for years.
Everything that we brought up, at least the concepts for everything I've been doing for the last year and a half.
That's like it's before, Bob. You're part of my library, so
yeah.
My go-to library.
All right. Now, some of those products that were mentioned, I of course have not used, but Premiere and Camtasia have been my go-to, and a lot of that was I've used Camtasia for years, but a lot of that was because that's what Chad used. So to be consistent and to be able to apply help to him or assist him if he needs something done, you got to use what he's using. So that's some of the reasons I use some of the products that I do.
Okay, so now I'm going to take it to a different level because I've got a point behind all this. What do you guys use for managing your business? What do you? Well, I mean,
QuickBooks.
How do you manage your business? What do you use to manage your books? What do you use? What processes do you use to make sure that you are staying on track and achieving the goals that you're setting for yourself?
Basically, QuickBooks.
Okay, you're using QuickBooks.
Anything other than that?
Okay.
I'm a member of like Sumo Briefcase, and it has a lot of products in there that do invoicing and quite a variety of the main business functions, calendaring and other additional things.
Okay.
I'm moving everything of mine over to Zoho One, which is
yep.
Yeah, it's the one product which has 40 different applications. It costs you like $30 a month to use, which is ridiculously cheap in my opinion.
Yep.
And it's got everything from books to all kinds of marketing, CRM, everything.
Sure does. Yep. Anybody else? Now, let me ask this question. Patrick, how did you, and I'll probably get the same answer that I got from on the video stuff. How did you know what to select? What led you to Zoho One?
Basically, I've been looking at trying to get a cheap accounting system for other clients. And this is a very good accounting system. And then at the same time, I saw that has a great CRM involved with it. And then it's got all kinds of marketing tools. I mean, it's got just about everything you need. You know,
Okay.
it's pretty amazing.
Good. All right. Anybody else? Okay.
For me, with the Sumo one, I ended up buying a lot of their products anyways, and so to get onto the monthly plan that included a whole lot of functions made sense. And so it's a combination of research and looking at demos of software involved, and making sure the pieces were covered that I needed.
You know, what's interesting to me is that, and I'm going to talk about two different transitions. When I had my brick and mortar business, I had 23 employees. And when I had that company, everything, we had very rigorous processes for everything. We had formal accounting. I had a CFO. I had a bookkeeper. We had regular weekly meetings where we did the roll up of all the numbers, roll up of all the sales team met, et cetera. I mean, the whole thing was really pretty formal. And then when I look at my working the way I do now, all that went out the window. I don't do any of that anymore. Okay. I have QuickBooks. Actually, I have two different versions of QuickBooks, because I have the desktop version, because I have all the equipment from when I had the brick and mortar business, but all that equipment is in storage because I don't need it. I don't use it. So I've reverted to doing many of the similar things. For example, all of my kind of project management, timekeeping, and invoicing is all done on what's the heck's the name of the product? I'll tell you here in a second. I always forget the name of this product. I don't know why I do that. It is called, let me look here, Harvest. Harvest is a great product. Because like I said, what's nice, what I like about Harvest is that with Harvest, it sits on my phone, sits on my desktop, basically sits within the Chrome browser. I can start a clock. So if I'm working on a task, I can label the task, start the clock when I'm done with the task, and it keeps track of all those tasks. So when I do a roll up and invoice the client, I've got a detailed invoice, almost as if I work in a law office. It's got everything detailed out. So if I need to do time and materials versus a fixed price, it's all there, and it's all pretty much integrated and automated for me. $10 a month to basically use it. So it's very inexpensive. But I just find it fascinating that the transition going from the kind of brick and mortar, well, first off, going from the enterprise, which is where I come from, and then going to a small brick and mortar, to where now I operate the way I do now. It's very different. Now I tend to be I basically do everything myself. I don't typically outsource anything to Fiverr or to VAs or now there are some projects that that I've got that I probably should outsource stuff, but I just gotten to the point now where I've got it managed well enough that I don't need to. Now, just to get a rough idea, is there anybody in the group right now, and I don't need, you can either respond or not respond, I'll leave that up to you, but I just want to try to get a sense. Is there anybody in the group that is has hit six figures a year, where they're consistently producing six figures a year?
I have in the past. I'm not doing it now.
Okay, you have in the past. Okay, anybody else?
Nope.
Okay.
Just in the job I left.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But that's the object. That's what all of you are targeting, right? Okay. Now, in order to get there, what kind of planning have you done to get yourself there? How many of you have a plan in place that literally tells you, if I do this and I do this and I do this, I'm going to get to where I need to go? If I sell X number of these over the next coming months, and legitimately, not just throwing a dart at the wall, but legitimately planning it out. How many of you have actually legitimately really planned out how to get to that six figures?
I've done partial planning. I haven't done exactly that for every single step.
Okay.
But partial.
Okay. Then you might partially get there. I'm teasing you, Bob.
That's exactly right. I mean, it depends which business I'm dealing with.
Yeah, no, I get it. But seriously, guys, if you want to get to that six figures, you got to plan it out, because you're not going to get there if you don't plan it. If you're just winging it, you're not going to get there.
Now, I've done financial projections
Okay.
to try to see where I'm going to be.
Okay.
I haven't gone and done the prior steps of saying, here's exactly how I'm going to do it. That's what I'm working on.
Okay. So you're working on that now.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. Because that's what you got to do. I mean, if you guys really want to get to that six figures and above, you got to plan it out. You got to figure out what the steps are that you need to take, and you need to set the goals so that you can, basically achieve those goals and move yourself closer and closer to that point. There's no magic in making six figures as a sole proprietor. There's no magic at all. I mean, the crap you see on the internet, for the most part, most of it's hogwash. What they don't show you is all the hard work that went in behind the scenes that they don't show you. But to really get there, okay, for the average person to really get there, you got to plan it out. You got to know what your plan is. You have to execute on your plan, and you got to be held accountable to your plan. Because one of the things that also happens with small business people that are like us, that are working by ourselves, is a loss of accountability, because there's nobody holding you accountable. And that's one of the things that tends to let things slip away, because you got nobody saying, looking over you saying, hey, did you get that done?
I wanted to ask Derek.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, we mentioned we might do a session just on the different prices, different pricing options, of all the different options that we have now. I thought I knew where I was, basically, but
Okay.
then lead came along, and
Okay.
then in the last couple of weeks or so, the pro account has come along, and how that's going to fit in with different sort of, if you're white labeling, if you're creating an enterprise for somebody, and all these different pricing options now. I don't know whether I'm coming or going to do that
Okay.
sort of financial planning.
All right. Yeah, I can talk to it. I can put a session together for that.
I think we mentioned it before, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can do it. I can definitely do a session for that. I mean, here's the thing. And I genuinely believe this, and I've believed it my entire career. When you build a business, whatever is at the heart of your business, you have to own and control. Because if you don't own it, you don't control it, that means somebody else owns it, somebody else controls it, which means you have no control over your business. None. And if you think you do, you're living in a fairy tale land. I mean, think about it this way. I mean, and I'll speak bluntly. Let's take Chad. And the reason I talk to Chad all the time is because I want to know where he's at. Okay. But if Chad, for example, in January decided, you know what, I'm so sick and tired of doing this development stuff, I'm just going to go off and market, and I don't need to develop anymore. What would happen for most of you? It'd be impactful. It would have a serious impact on what you're doing, because you've put at the heart of what you're doing Chad's business. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because Chad's not going anywhere. He's committed. I believe he's committed. I've had numerous conversations with him. I believe he's committed, and he's built a really nice product, and I believe he's going to continue to try to build it out. He just wants to get back onto the marketing side of things, because he knows that's really where his greatest talents are. Okay. But I'm just using it as an illustrated point that if your business is 100% focused on Everlesson and the lead conversion system, then that's at the core of your business, which means you don't own it. It's owned by somebody else, and so you're totally, completely reliant on that person. So here's my suggestion to you. And it's the same thing I'm having to do. Okay? I'm incorporating lead conversion and Everlesson into even the paper I popped up. Let's put it this way. That's the equivalent of about pretty close to a $50 million investment, what I put up on that paper. Literally, what's going to be built out there, because that includes a data lake for petabytes of data. It includes basically just just put it, tons and tons and tons of storage. It includes essentially all of the layers and stacks for doing, for example, an avatar for representing the person. It includes all call center technology. It includes Salesforce as a small piece of the layer on the stack. I mean, it's very, very extensive in terms of what that represents as far as a build out. But I'm even planning Everlesson, lead conversion system, as parts of what I'm going to build there. Because when they first spin up, it's going to be the same. It's going to be not too different from us. Because when they first spin up, it's just a few guys, a whole hell of a lot of money, and then just a madcap pace of hiring employees and bringing staff in and doing all the things that required to build up a company. But on the first days, it's okay. Let's get email up. Okay, well, let's use G Suites and spin up email that way really fast, so I can have email and have people on email within a few hours. Let's have a common data store within a few hours. Let's get Salesforce lined up, because that way we've got the whole front end in a matter of hours. So I can spin up an entire operation in just a few hours, all based on software as a service, platform as a service that I can leverage, while everything else is being built out over the course of the next year and a half. So come back to here. When I look at the way I'm crafting my business, what's at the heart of my business is not lead conversion system or Everlesson. What's at the heart of my business are the consulting, development services, and the product development services that I take into companies like that insurance company. And I bring with it tools that can bring an advantage to the business, which is LCS, et cetera. But they're periphery products, if you follow what I'm saying. So what you need to do with your business is first figure out, okay, what's going to be the core of your business, consulting or reselling. There's nothing wrong with reselling. I mean, people resell cars. They're car dealerships. They're completely dependent on the big car makers, right? But they build up whole businesses that sell millions of dollars. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not the way my philosophy works when I develop my business. But if you do that, then what you need to make sure is that you've got fallback positions. In other words, you've got to make sure that you anchor yourself so that no matter what happens, you've got technology that's basically in the wing that you can potentially use and employ to build your business. Does that make sense? Do you follow what I'm saying? So, for example, if your business is exclusively lead conversion system and Everlesson, that's perfect. That's great. Start building it, but make sure that you've got alternatives available for yourself in the event that there is anything, and but maybe it's a feature or function that doesn't work the way you need it to work in Everlesson or in LCS. So you have to have a way to supplement it if that's something that becomes important for your customer base. And whether you do it or you outsource it or whatever, you've got to figure out a solution, right? So if you want to get to six figures, what you got to do is you got to start from square one, and you've got to map out the exact path that you're going to take to get there. And it's not rocket science. It's just dollars and cents. You know, how many lead conversion systems do you need to sell to be able to make six figures? Does anybody in here have any idea how many lead conversion systems you need to sell to even make six figures?
Depends on what you're selling them for.
Well, but still, do you know what you're selling them for to get to six figures? That's my whole point. You need to start doing that planning. You need to start setting those goals, because if you don't do it, the planning, then it's just going to be a pipe dream. You're never going to get there. It's just going to be a wish, but it's not going to be reality, because you're not doing the things that you need to do to make it into a reality. So if you want six figures from LCS and Everlesson, then set the price, know the quantities, know how many you can, make some rational estimates in terms of how many you think you can sell each month, and figure out what it is you need to sell in order to be at six figures. And then what do you got to do to be able to achieve that? Do you need to bring in a VA to assist you in certain areas? Do you need to open up your market a little bit? Do you need to increase the pricing of the products a little bit? What do you need to do in order to get to six figures? And it's just a plan. But you got to do the planning, because if you don't do the planning, you'll never get there. Does that make sense? Anybody disagree?
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay. So what I'm going to start asking in the future as we do these is I'm going to start asking how many of you guys have a plan. And I'm hoping that answer will change as this thing moves along, where more and more of you have a plan, and we actually start probing those plans and making sure that they stand up for you and make sure that they can actually deliver you where you want to be. Because the ideal of a group like this is you got a group of like-minded people that all want to end up in the same place, that are all using very similar things, similar tools to do video, similar tools to do audio, similar tools in terms of their computing environments. You're all trying to get to the same place. but none of you, or few of you, I won't say none because I know some of you have, but few of you have done the detailed planning that you really need to do to make sure that you get there. And I want to make sure that you get there. So if there's anything about the planning process that you don't understand, ask me. And we'll cover it. Okay? But let's make sure you get there. All right, that's it for tonight. Any questions?
Nope.
No questions, but I sent the card. I have the Android. I sent it to my wife.
Yeah.
She got the link properly. It was all good. My daughter's got an iPhone. I sent it to her. She had a little bar on the bottom. Clicked on it. It worked there too. So
Yeah, I think you would walked away. Mine actually came through.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, what happened is the first time it came through, it didn't come through with a link.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know what I did, but I did something, and then I looked back and I had the link. So
Okay, well at least we know that works. So that's good.
yeah. So we're good. All right, guys. Well, if you have no questions, then
Well, Derek,
yeah.
are you going to be on my webinar tomorrow?
Plan to be.
Okay, good. All right. Anybody here, the 12 people that are here who is not signed up for my webinar, PM me in Facebook. We're doing a little workshop, and I don't know if everybody is in or not.
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, correct?
It's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, and the link is not public. So don't think you can go hunting around and find it.
We're hiding it from you.
Yeah, I'm hiding it because we only want to make sure we have the right, agency people in there, Everlesson or LCS. So I'm keeping a tight rein on that. And I will then manually give you access to the replays. So anybody, we're gonna be changing the times up periodically as well, so we can cover everybody in the world, so they could be on live without having to be up in the middle of the night. So anyway, that's it.
All
Just
right,
PM
cool.
me.
How many have you done
Thanks,
so
Bob.
far, Bob?
Done 2.
Okay. Is it
We'll see
too late to
how
go
it goes
in?
from there.
Or, too far
Never
behind?
too late. Never too late.
No. It's not training. It's a workshop. Now we're working on a video for Robert, and we're getting images and we're getting script. Lois and Olive, we're working on that. I did get the stuff, Lois, so that's good. And I'm working on some stuff to put in the video because we're trying to produce a video for him. That's going to lead to other things such as standardized, not standardized, but web pages that everybody can use. And we're all donating our services. It is not a group where you come in and just listen in the background and then we hand you something. Everyone needs to participate. Pick something that they can do. You need help on something related to these things, videos, pictures, images, whatever. We're going to be working.
So simple rule is if you want to receive, you have to give.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, the group had discussed last week for people who were active contributors that things would be free to be shared, and other things on down the road we might sell to other people who had not made a contribution.
Yeah, that's correct. We did do that. All right. So it's an offshoot of this particular webinar that Derek is doing, and it's not a replacement for it. It's just an offshoot of it. I volunteered to do it and see what would happen. All right. And of course, we are giving Derek a cut. He gets his 0.5%. Right. Everything over $10. And
my 0.5% of nothing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So it's an offshoot of that where we're gonna kind of narrow in on a couple of subjects and just we're gonna work on those, and we're gonna that. So it's still formulating what we're doing, but if you want to be involved, show up. If you can't make it, let me know that as well, because you can watch the replays. They do put the replays up in Everlesson, in a membership site. So that's it. Anyway, that's it, Derek. Sorry.
All right,
I
no problem.
wanted to throw that in.
Got it. All right, gang. Have an awesome night.
Thanks,
Thanks a
Derek.
lot.
See you Friday. Okay.
Thank you, Derek.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.